situation in Tampa at all?
No. I thought everybody told me Tom Brady doesn't need no coach. That's what I kept hearing all the time. Tom Brady's the coach. Tom Brady's the coach. Let Tom Brady call the plays. Tom did so good. You remember the 2 minutes when he was just calling all the plays? Now all of a sudden still, at some point, people, can we acknowledge that Tom didn't play well? We keep talking about they couldn't run the ball. Skip, did you know the year they won the Super Bowl, I think they were 29th in rushing. They ran the football so well, but they were 29th in rushing. They happened to be 32. Hold on, let me get this right. And they were tied for 28th in 2020. There was 26th in 2021. There was 32nd in 2022. In 2019, they were 24th. So they really never had a top 20 rush offense. The year before Tom got there and throughout Tom tenure there. But hold on. So what player did Byron Leftwich ask for? So it was Byron Leftwich's fault that the offensive line got hurt, and the players that they replaced him with, he didn't draft those players, but we're going to put that on B. So who reached out to Julio Jones, and Julio couldn't stay healthy this year? Who signed Russell Gage in the offseason? That's Byron Leftwich's fault. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Tom welcome Russell Gage? Did he like, we got Russell?
I'm not sure about that. I know he reached out to Julio for a fact.
The problem that I have, and I said yesterday they won 3 straight division titles, I misspoke. The first year, New Orleans won the division title.
Yeah.
They were the wild card. They were the wild, and they went on the road, and they did that. But they won 2 division titles with Byron Leftwich calling the plays.
Yep.
They won a Super Bowl with Byron Leftwich. And in that tenure in which they won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady played extremely well. Byron Leftwich didn't get no credit. That's Tom Brady, the greatest of Tom Brady. They never gave Byron Leftwich credit for calling those plays in the Super Bowl. But the moment Tom falls off and he doesn't play like he played in his previous 2 seasons, Byron Leftwich got to go. Now, I don't believe this is all about that. I think there's some things that when B.A. got kicked upstairs, Byron Leftwich probably wanted to get an opportunity to get an interview for the head job, and they went ahead and handed that thing to him. From what I hear, is that, his kind of attitude changed. He's like, you know what? Hey, friendly, this work. I'm going to treat all y'all like work. And we've all been there before. But, Skip, this notion here that we're going to put all of this on Byron Leftwich and all, no. Can we at least acknowledge? Because all we do is talk about, the offensive line. That ain't B's fault. He's the offensive coordinator. He didn't draft one player. He didn't sign one player. He doesn't get to decide who plays and who doesn't play. But you know what? Tom didn't play well this year. Let's not acknowledge that. Let's put that on the offensive coordinator and the offensive. What about layout Lenny? You kept telling me layout Lenny. Play out Lenny. Come on, Skip. The numbers speak for themselves. But hey, hopefully the man lands on his feet. Somebody gives him an opportunity. But this is what I want to say. To all black coaches, don't you turn down no job. Because the likelihood of you getting another opportunity is not very good. Byron Leftwich had an opportunity to be the coach at Jacksonville. But because they would not let him bring his general manager, they wanted to keep David Caldwell there. And now, what's the likelihood of B getting a head coaching job, Skip, after getting fired? We don't get that. We can't beat Doug Marrone. We can't resign a job. We can't beat Josh McDaniels. Or we can't take our name out of running.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Go take that job.
Yeah. So to your point, to the point you just made, Byron Leftwich was getting a ton of credit through last season because Jacksonville was giving him so much credit, they were ready to offer him their head coaching job.
Yeah,
that's how much credit he got.
No.
Think about it. The Jacksonville Jaguars, loaded with talent, loaded with number 16 at quarterback and ETN coming off injury at running back. Loaded, ready to go. I just picked him to win at Kansas City. Byron Leftwich was about to get that job, and he declined. He pulled his name out of the running because he didn't like the front office.
How much credit did you give him?
Yeah.
Because you told me.
I loved him. I loved him.
Hold on. No. You said Tom Brady went in a pandemic year, and you didn't mention anything about Byron Leftwich because he was calling those plays in that pandemic year. You said Tom.
Everybody else. He's the greatest quarterback ever, times 100.
Okay. So why did he lose his job?
What are you talking about?
Why did he lose his job? If he's the greatest quarterback ever, why did he lose his job? Hold on.
Wait a second. Did Tom Brady not take over a 7-9 team, right?
Who was calling plays for that 7-9 team? Byron Leftwich. So let me ask you a question. How many
I think Bruce Arians called a bunch of them.
How many coordinators in Tom Brady's tenure have gotten fired? Name one.
How many quarterbacks could go in and take a 7-9 team in a pandemic year where you can't practice. How many could do it?
He called us. I just want to know who's the offensive coordinator called no plays in that pandemic year.
Well, sure he was.
Okay, then, so Tom Brady played well, right? Tom Brady played well, right?
Played great.
Okay, so did he play great this year?
Yeah.
He did?
Did Tom
Brady play great this
Is
year?
it my turn now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to go.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you. It came across yesterday that the news broke. It was Byron Leftwich who got fired, and I was under the impression he was the only coach who got fired because the story was broken, because he was by far times 10 the biggest name of those who got fired.
Yes.
But because of that, I accepted that he was the solo scapegoat, that somehow management scapegoated him just because when you go 8-10 with Brady at quarterback, you have to tell your fandom something. You have to throw them a bone. And it felt like he got scapegoated.
Brady didn't play well. That's the bone I threw you.
All right, okay, but somebody has to go. Look across the league right now. Donatel. It's how they do business. Yeah. They have to give them somebody. So let's give them the defensive coordinator. Let's give them the offensive coordinator. Everywhere I look, some coordinators are going down like crazy.
Right.
It's the way business is done because it's PR. Well, he's expendable, he's disposable because he's just the coordinator, and the head coach saves his job. See, Brandon Staley, what did they do? They threw
the coordinator and the quarterback coach.
Okay, they're gone. Okay, it's just the way this business works.
Right.
Okay, but then I hear later in the day, wait a second, are you kidding me? Todd Bowles is signing off on cleaning house? There are 8 other coaches gone on top of Byron Leftwich. 8 more coaches are out the door because you can't 3 retired, but you can't tell me they were eased.
Exactly.
They weren't eased into retirement because Clyde Christensen's been there forever. He was Brady's guy. Well, it sounds like that's the first big sign. Brady ain't coming back through that door. Okay, so 8 are gone. Todd Bowles is still afloat as the head coach. That's great by me. I'm a big fan.
Right.
But surely he had to sign off on this, right?
Well, they probably said, Todd, you need to make some changes to your staff.
Okay, so he did. And this is a house cleaning, the likes of which I can't ever remember happening before unless you're going to change coaches. If Todd Bowles got fired and in comes Sean Payton or whoever it is, then you wipe all of it out because Sean Payton or whoever, I'm just doing hypothetical, would want to bring in a whole new staff. He would interview, and he might keep the running back coach or the receiver coach or whatever. He might mix and match 2 or 3. But usually this is what happens when you change the head coach out. What is going on here? I don't know.
Yeah, they fired Todd McNair, who's the running back coach, and I know Todd. He played a lot of years in Kansas City. He was the running back coach. He just won a lawsuit against the NCAA, Skip. But I don't really know what they wanted him to do with that running game that they had, Skip.
Okay, so you talked about the pandemic year in the Super Bowl. How different was the offensive line this year? Well, it was completely different. It was utterly different than that offensive line. It's going to change, right?
But that wasn't Byron Leftwich.
Okay, I'm saying I never said a peep about Byron Leftwich because I'm a fan of his. Was Gronkowski there this year? Well, he tried to come back, but he wanted more money, and then he said yesterday, my heart really wasn't in it. You know how that goes. Your heart's not in it. You were predicting it.
That's what I said. Skip. I don't know if he...
Okay, so he called, and they talked, and it didn't happen.
Right.
And Brady's kind of left out there with 2 rookie tight ends, and they're okay, but they're not this guy. No. Antonio Brown, for all of his faults and all of his issues, he's really good. He was really good with Brady because Brady loved him. Brady fought for him to be at New England and fought for him to be here, and he helped him. He came 8 games into the season, and down the stretch, he was the most targeted of the receivers. Well, he blew himself apart at the end of the year last year, and then that was the end of him. So you're down Gronkowski and AB. What do you think's going to happen? Well, I thought Julio could maybe take up some slack, and he couldn't stay healthy, but you called it. You predicted it, and I said, okay. All right. So what did I see with Leftwich, and I don't know the inner workings, so I can't comment on this. All I know for sure is I do know this for a dead solid fact. They badly want Brady back, and they're not condemning Brady for what happened. I'm sure some of the fault they did.
How much blame are we going to place at Brady's feet for wanting Bruce Arians removed as the head coach and bumped upstairs?
All.
Okay.
I told you that yesterday.
Okay.
I told you all of it because I think that was a big mistake.
Yeah, and Skip, I remember when it happened. I said this happened because of Tom Brady wanting it.
Okay.
That man ain't retired. The man loves coaching.
And I've been told the powers that be were not pleased with that move because they think they missed Bruce's sort of flair and he's got like quirky, like weird kind of genius about it. I mean, I don't know if genius is too much, but he's coached a bunch of good quarterbacks. Okay. So here's what I do know.